Oh my God, what the hell is this? He's gonna try it!
And will this be enough? My God, Hogan takes him out!
1, 2, What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Ruckus Wrastlin. I'm Josh, alongside my tag team partner in this journey, Justin Toner. How are we doing today, sir?
Doing pretty good.
That's good. We got a lot of wrestling to catch up with. We got some pay-per-views this weekend or next weekend?
We got Tonight of Champions next weekend, and then the weekend of the 12th and 13th is oh my God.
We got them all. But today is your regularly scheduled. Not a whole lot of pay-per-views or anything like that, because a lot of times we just get nailed with it all at once. Because AEW, WWE, despite what they say, love to counter-program AEW nowadays. So we have a lot all at once instead of it spread out over time. But as far as not doing too well, unfortunately, during Monday Night Raw, Liv Morgan suffered a separated shoulder from while she was like early on in the match with Kairi Sane. It looked just a typical bump, but when she went down, you could tell if you zoom in on her shoulder, you can tell that's not supposed to happen. She rolls out of the ring, medical's there. Kairi just kind of sits there on the ropes, gets out of her way. People were getting crap to Kairi of kind of like playing it off. I'm like, what else is she supposed to do? She's not a doctor. She's a wrestler.
Right.
They take her off, and it was shown that she had separated shoulder. Saying like typically those type of things, they were saying 16 weeks, but then it's come out saying that it requires surgery. So we really don't know how long she's going to be out. Speedy recovery for Liv. And this throws Evolution's plans a little out of whack because this was leading to the Bella Twins versus Liv and Raquel for the championship for the women's tag team titles. I mean, it was exactly what it was going to be. So now the Prodigy step in for this.
Go do Joe's for as long as you can. Appreciate it.
Yep. Appreciate it.
It does suck.
Yeah. It does. So do you think they just do what they did when Sonya Deville got injured and then Piper Niven just stepped in and that's worked out so far? Obviously, Chelsea has a big part in that. But I mean, it just kind of feels like it sucks that it happens because Liv has been doing her best work.
Yeah, well, there's already precedent. That happened. Sonya got injured while her and Chelsea had the tag team titles, and Piper stepped up and said, I'll take her place and be your partner and keep defending the belts. And they let that happen. And then just last year, they repeated the same thing when Jade was taken out, as we found out later, by Naomi. Naomi slid in and took her place and replaced her as tag champion with Bianca. So there is already precedent for this. So they can absolutely do that and have the Prodigy Roxanne step in and take Liv's place to help keep the titles within Judgment Day, because that's what they were going to do. And as we were talking about before we got on the show, as bad as it sucks for Liv's going to be out for potentially like a couple months at the most, because now shoulder separations are tricky because like if it's not a bad separation, you pop back into place, it can take just like a few weeks maybe to recover. But if it's like really bad, that may or may not require surgery, that can take like a few months, potentially surgery. From what I've heard, she could be out like anywhere for like 4 to 6 months with the surgery to recover from the separated shoulder with the surgery. So, which really sucks. So she may be back until before the end of the year. If lucky, maybe at the worst case scenario, she'll be back in time for the Rumble in January.
Right. So yeah, she's
going to miss Evolution, which really sucks for her.
Right.
She's going to miss SummerSlam and probably Survivor, and most likely Survivor Series as well.
Yeah. Because you definitely know she was going to be War Games or something like that, which we'll get into.
Exactly, yeah. Like that's a storyline that they could absolutely go for if they want to keep the tag titles in Judgment Day's hands by having Roxanne take Liv's place to defend the titles. And they can do that Evolution. They can easily set up where like like oh well, it's like it's like you're gonna have to give up the titles, and then it's like Finn will put forward like wait a minute, there's precedent. We could have Roxanne take Liv's place and defend the titles, and we'll keep them with the Judgment Day. And Raquel's going to be torn about this because she's made her dislike for Roxanne clear, but at the same time she's not going to want to lose the tag titles either. So that's going to make them reluctant allies. And then Adam Pearce can be like, okay, it's like you'll face the Bella Twins at Evolution. If you win, you're certified as the new tag champions.
Yeah. They can definitely do that. It stinks, but you can also see where it doesn't take away from what they could do.
Exactly, yeah. And that's the other thing. Yeah, it's like this has happened multiple times. So there is like clear precedent of the GMs allowing this to happen. I totally forgot about Trish did the same thing. She took out Lita and then took her place and lost the titles on purpose to fuck Becky over. And then turned on her. It's funny how she did that to Lyra too. Wonder.
I don't know, but
she was borrowing from someone's playbook.
Yeah, but all I know is Becky's is doing some amazing heel work, but that's not what we're talking about. We'll get to that on Raw segment. But with this, it's kind of weird how it just feels like they're speeding up what they were wanting to do.
Yes,
because of this.
Yeah, no, the whole Roxanne versus Liv and Judgment Day dissension is now going to be really ramped up now that she's for sure.
Yeah. Okay, Justin, you read it. I read it. Caden's read it.
Yeah.
Kind of briefly talk about what JD from New York was saying.
Yeah, it's like we were talking about it before he went on the air. We saw JD's like really lengthy post on X where he ran down a really cool what if scenario of what they could do with Liv, where Liv basically kind of like slowly starts not just taking this place, but kind of like, acting in kind of a Liv way in certain times, and people are kind of getting weirded out about it. It's like, very like stalkerish kind of behavior, like single white female kind of thing. And, eventually it's like she keeps succeeding. The Prodigy eventually gets the world championship. And then when Liv comes back, if before Rumble time, then you could have Liv win the Women's Rumble and then have Liv Roxanne for the title at Mania next year, which would be awesome.
Yeah, it would. And I mean, hey, the more Prodigy, the better I am. So I'm good. I'm good with whatever they do. But yeah, just a speedy recovery for Liv because she is at the top of her game right now, by far. She's hitting on all cylinders, in-ring work, mic skills, even on commentary, I guess to still kind of what Punk was doing because she was hitting on all cylinders. I mean, that promo that she did with Nikki Bella was great, and it was really making me pumped, and then that happens. So it's never fun when it does happen. Kyrie Sane had a nice tweet out, saying how much pride she takes about in the ring and everything. And she's typically the one that was getting injured by Nia Jax back in the day. I remember that match during the Thunderdome era. It's like she botched a move that could have seriously injured Kyrie very badly, and luckily she didn't get seriously hurt, but it did not look good. That was back when Nia was quite botcherific, and Nia's fine now. She's fine now. She's
really improved.
She's really improved. But yeah, with Kyrie, like Kyrie's not known, and also if you look at it, it was just a fluke injury. It wasn't like
it is. I mean, people getting like, I was like, look, we have the Zoe and Liv. It's like, who's the coming down here? It's like that's not fair. It's like, because it was a routine move, and that's sometimes this can happen. It's like that's the nature of the wrestling business where like wrestlers can be doing this crazy stuff like in a ladder match or a cell match or a hardcore match, something with a ladder going through a table, other crazy spots that can lead them getting injured.
Yeah, or
they could do something completely routine and somehow something goes wrong. Like, perfect example, look what happened to Punk last year. The Future Shock DDT is one of Drew McIntyre's go-to moves. It's a double arm DDT. It's a basic move.
Mm-hmm.
He did it to Punk in the Rumble last year, and somehow that caused Punk to get his pec torn. And nothing Drew did wrong. It's like he did the move just as he normally would. It just so happened that he landed a certain way, and it caused his pec to get torn.
Yeah,
freak accident.
Oh no! Drew prayed for it though. He prayed for it, and it happened. So yeah, no, it was all Drew's fault. Okay, it was anyway. And then remember Seth Rollins when he tore his ACL for the first time when he was going against Kane or whatever. He was just a typical flip over, and his knee just buckled.
Yep.
So it just freak accidents can happen.
Or like poor Adam Cole, he was just going to the ring and he broke his ankle and was out for a year. When he was running out to the ring, he wasn't even in a match, and he got hurt. It's like,
so it just things happen.
Anyone who wants to like come after Kyrie and blame her can go fuck off. And I mean, Rhea even put out a tweet like to say get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Right. Well, Justin, we're finally getting what we wanted, a 2-hour SmackDown. It is they've come out and said now they were saying August, then they pushed it up to July 17th, I believe. It's reported by either Fightful or PWI. Not sure exactly who it was.
Yeah.
I was reporting that they're moving it back up to next month. The 2-hour Raw. Now, that being said, it feels like every time they announce that they're doing a 2-hour Raw or not the 2-hour Raw, but a 2-hour SmackDown, and then they push it back, or it's like, oh, SmackDown's finally getting good. Let's do 3 hours. No, and then they're like, oh, well, 3 hours is kind of a slugfest in the slow, and like they're kind of dragging it out. Oh, let's go back to 2 hours. Just right when the 3-hour Raw SmackDowns are getting good. So it's like they're finding their footing. That being said, it's because you have multiple people that are from Raw that are on SmackDown right now. That's why it's working, because you have multiple segments that actually aren't filler shit.
Well, that's what the word is. It's because it was announced that there's a new TV show that's going to be debuting in August at 10 p.m. on Friday nights after SmackDown in USA. So that means for it to be airing at 10 o'clock, that means SmackDown's only going to be 2 hours. So, right. And then further reports came out that they're going to, before that show even debuts, that it's sometime in July is when they're finally going to cut it back to 2 hours. I think, and that would make the sense because they would want to do it before that show debuts at the 10 p.m. slot in August, so that the USA viewers that are used to SmackDown being 2 hours again. So, because they want them obviously to tune into the show because they're putting it right after SmackDown. So it's like, they want to use SmackDown as a lead-in for people to watch the show.
I don't think Triple H listened. I think USA Network was like, hey, we'd love you to be a lead-in for this new show that we probably invest a lot of money in.
Probably.
I think it's more of that.
Either way, hallelujah, praise Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, it looks like we're finally going to get back to a 2-hour SmackDown soon.
Because like I was saying just a second ago, before, and thank you for that breakdown of why with the new show coming out. Hope it's good. I mean, the ratings are definitely going to be fine for the lead-in.
I forget what the name of it is, but it's like I have to look it up.
Anyway, but like I was saying, right now, like the 3-hour SmackDowns have been pretty good, but that's just because you have everybody on it. You have Raw superstars and SmackDown people, so that's why it's working right now. And you can't just keep doing that. With travel and all other stuff. I mean, as a fan, I don't mind. What is it?
Oh, the show's called The Rainmaker.
Oh, okay. Don't know what that could be, but
it's going to debut on August 15th at 10 p.m.
Gotcha.
Which is a Friday.
Right.
Which is when they first announced that the show was debuting on that date at that time. I was like, oh, wait a minute, that's a Friday. That's where people are like, oh my god, it's like that. It means we're finally going to get 2-hour SmackDown again when the show comes out in August.
Yeah. So,
and it's now going back to 2 hours doesn't guarantee the show is going to improve automatically. That all comes down to the booking, and the writing. Now, they've started to get into a decent groove when it comes to Raw for most, I mean, there have been some ups and downs, but like the 2.5 hour format works a lot better than like seems like it takes forever 3 hour per match. It's like even with the ads. So, and plus they're figuring in this is going to figure in regular commercials. So it's like, and also with that show, they're gonna want to make sure that they end the show by 10 o'clock. It's like, like how the CW has to have NXT end, but before it hits 10 o'clock PM for like local news. It's like, so, not going to see too much overrun on SmackDown when it goes back to 2 hours, especially maybe before the Rainmaker debuts, but after the Rainmaker is like, nope, that's like, it's like they're going to, it's going to be like, we gotta get this show done. It's like 9:59 PM Eastern time. We gotta go.
Yeah. It's so sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we're cut for time. We gotta get out of here, as Tony Schiavone famously once.
Yeah, I know. Said. If only we could get rid of the brand split. It's a dream.
Yeah, there's too many superstars on that roster for a brand split, and there's if you want a brand split, you're gonna have people that are on TV on the regular right now that are gonna fall to the wayside and get cut, and then you're gonna be like, "Oh, why they cut them? Because they went in too much." Because you just have so much plethora of talent. So
yeah,
as much as I want it, it's gonna take away from TV time for superstars that earn it and are gonna lose jobs because of it.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, okay, we have this people for this show, and that's like, okay, how do we maximize who we got available for this show?
Right. Now, you will, at this point in season, and I always will say this, you're at every point in this season, if they keep doing war games going forward, you're going to have what's going on right now happen every single year around this time.
Right.
Because what we're seeing right now is gearing up for war games. You can't tell me that's not what they're doing.
Right. Now, it's easier with the men because at one point or another, there's always some kind of big heel stable in the men's division that makes booking war games easy. We had the Bloodline for a couple of years. This year, we've got Team Heyman, who is definitely going to be expanding probably sometime in the near future to so that they'll have enough guys for war games. Because Paul Heyman can't wrestle at war games, so it's like they're going to need at least one other guy, if not two. Depends on if they're going to do 4 and 4 or 5.
Oh, I hope the reports are right about Ethan Page, because I called that way back when.
You did. And Ethan Page would be a great fit in Team Heyman.
Even JD for New York was just like, that fits perfectly.
Yeah.
For that.
Ricky would be interesting, but it'd be kind of shocking because it's like because most people know, that Ricky and Cody are very close friends in real life. So you would think when he goes onto the main roster, he'll be wanting to help out his buddy Cody. So, but
until they tell us differently, we're getting war games every year.
Yeah, unless they say otherwise, you expect a war games match.
It's either you're going to get the old school survivors,
especially now that Damage Control has been disbanded.
Yeah,
apparently for good. It's going to be trickier to justify a war games match,
because the past 2 years have been kind of a hodgepodge of female wrestlers,
right?
And it's kind of thrown together. At least with now that being said, you can't just sit there and say, "Oh, here's a stable. We're going to create this stable after Mania, so we can have a war game stable." At that point,
because last year they really stretched it to justify the women's having a war games match last year.
They really stretched it.
Because the 2 years before that was easy. There was Damage Control for 2 years straight.
Yeah.
So,
and NXT was always good about it because you always had
you had multiple women feuding at the same time, and it's
and then you had Undisputed Era for the men for years.
Although NXT right now, you have for now you still have Fatal Influence as a women's heel faction down in NXT, but I don't see them letting NXT have the war game match back. So.
Yeah, you're always gonna if you have a specialty match like that. I get what you're saying, Caden, but you're always going to, because the thing is, it's we didn't book. You're always gonna you're always gonna get criticism of how they book the women.
Exactly, it's a no-win situation because if you don't give if you book the women's war games match haphazardly, then you get the justified complaints of you're really stretching things in order for them to have this war games match. It's like But if you don't give them a War Games match, then you're going to have people crying like, why are the men are getting all the War Games matches? Why aren't the women having a War Games match?
Yeah, it's a lose-lose
Like,
situation.
You're going to get complaining no matter if you do or you don't. It's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I feel like if they're going to start doing it, we're gonna start. They should do They should plant seeds for women's war games at Evolution or at Evolution because everyone's there.
Exactly. Like I think Evolution would be the right point because it's going to be the all women pay-per-view. So if they are going to do another War Games for the women this year, they should start planting the seeds for how that would come to get the storyline for that happening at Evolution. That would be the perfect place to
and it's not like you don't have enough females on the roster right now. I know Liv just went out, but still.
Exactly. Yeah, they need to think before they complain. Exactly. What can you do?
That's the thing is like the booking's not good for the women, which is an issue. But you don't just need to not have a women's War Games match because you book women bad.
Now, speaking of Evolution, the other side effect of Liv going out is that that throws up that whole the setup for the Nikki Bella match. Nikki Bella was advertised to be on Raw this week, but obviously they pulled her, and whatever stuff was going on, and we'll get to it because they were hitting at some stuff that was going to happen that ended up obviously having to be scrapped because Liv is injured now.
Right.
So it's like,
we'll see what they do.
We'll see what it's like. It's like they're having to change some of the stuff they want to do for Evolution because Liv is out, and so.
Here's my idea of what they're going to do, because Stephanie Vaquer was just quoted as, or like they might step Stephanie Vaquer in there or something like that. If or I don't know what they're going to do, but Nikki Bella, I don't know if Brie Bella is going to be on the show anymore, but I know Nikki Bella is definitely going to be involved in Evolution.
Well, yeah, they're going to definitely have Nikki Bella. It's like it was just rumors that it's like that Brie that might be coming back as well, and they team together. Which would make sense that, the Bella twins versus Liv and Raquel for the tag titles. That would make perfect sense, especially with the interaction between that Nikki Bella and Liv had last week. But now that Liv is out, you're gonna have to find something else for her for something Nikki fight, whether it's a singles match or a tag match. It's like, you could plug in Rhea Ripley or Stephanie Vaquer or somebody. It's like to team with her instead.
Yeah.
If Brie is not like ready to go get back in the ring.
Me and Justin said the same thing last year. Because it was already there with Stephanie and Julia and Zarya and all, and then you had Fatal Influence. But the thing is like I don't trust Jasmine Hicks in a War Games. Plus, you're going to put a bunch of NXT women who trust me when you hear some of the pops when the NXT women get called up, not a lot of people know who they are, unfortunately. So. You just ran into that issue.
Right.
That's the thing is like, you still want to have your top female, like, we're going to have a War Games match. We're going to exclude Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan out of this match
it's very clear, like who they're viewing that are about to get the big push to the top. Like I forgot to mention this, but remember how in the Rumble match, they had that moment where Roxanne, Stephanie and Julia faced off with Bianca, Becky and no, not Becky. Bianca, Bailey, and Charlotte in the Rumble, and then they did a similar thing again with Stephanie, Julia, and Roxanne on one side in the Money Bank match, and you had the old guard now of Rhea, Naomi, and Alexa on the other side,
right? And
then going at it. It's very. It's like Triple H sending a clear message that the trio of Roxanne, Stephanie, and Julia are the future. Right. That he has big plans for all three of those ladies.
Yeah.
Those three are the future of the women's division.
Yeah. All right. So that pretty much has it for the news. So speaking about a 2-hour SmackDown, this one was 3 hours, and let's talk about it. John Cena opened the show by cutting a promo in the ring. He said that he is always steps ahead of everyone. It's why he beat Cody at Mania. Cena said that there would never be anyone who earns the right to hold the WWE title ever again. Cody Rhodes came out to respond, saying that so far, yes, things have gone his way, but Cody pinning him at Money in the Bank part of his master plan. Randy Orton then came out and said he had Cena beat at Backlash until someone saved him. He said he doesn't care who he has to go through. He is winning King of the Ring to get another shot Orton told Cody he loves him like a brother, but if he has to put Cody down to win King of the Ring, he won't hesitate to do it. LA Knight then joins them, and says he assures Cena's plan didn't include him spoiling everything. He says if he has to go through Cody and Orton to win King of the Ring, so be it, so he can face Cena and become WWE champion. Cena went to leave, and he was attacked from behind by Ron Killings, even though they still called him R-Truth. Started getting used to it. Just let the commentators get used to it. Ron punched Cena several times before officials plus security broke it up. I really didn't know exactly what he was shouting at Cena, but whatever.
I couldn't make it out either.
Cena was shown yelling at SmackDown GM Nick Aldis backstage about Ron attacking him, but no audio was given to hear what was said. It was just like, man, your mom, Mickey. There's a joke there.
You look like a manager in baseball arguing balls and strikes with an umpire.
Yeah,
even turning his cap backwards in order to do it.
Yeah. How come you didn't invite me over for dinner? Mickey makes a real big pot roast, I heard. Anyway. Yeah. Because if you don't know, Nick Aldis and Mickey James are married.
They're married.
Randy Orton defeated Carmelo Hayes, LA Knight, even though I was kind of getting a little happy there for Carmelo there for a second. They teased me, but it was a good
I know. I had a small slimmer of hope that he might win this.
Because Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed showed up and attacked Knight. Braun hitting him with the spear in the ring. Melo tried to take advantage. What he took so long, I was like, oh, here comes Randy. And then it was a beautiful Randy. He hit Knight with a splash, but Randy hit Melo with an RKO out of nowhere on his way down to pin Knight for the win and advance to face Sami Zayn in the semifinals. U.S. champion Jacob Fatu came out to cut a promo. He said, just because your family doesn't mean you can go behind somebody's back and snake him. Just because you come from the same bloodline doesn't mean you can take all the credit for Jacob's hard work. Solo thought that he would be nothing without him. That's why he screwed Solo out of winning Money in the Bank to teach him a lesson. Solo, with JC, appeared on screen, said no one wanted Jacob around, but he brought him in. He put him in a position to succeed, and he's champion because of Solo. Solo said that next week on SmackDown, he's ready to forgive him, but he needs to hear him say, I love you, Solo. Solo says that he brought Jacob into this world, and he can take him out. That's a really good segment. Yeah. Nick Aldis was, well, of course, it's Jacob Fatu, but still. Nick Aldis was backstage with the Secret Hervis. Hervis is Piper Niven and Alba Fire. Chelsea Green was on a phone on FaceTime. Green said she couldn't make it to Lexington because it was hard to find a plane going there. So
the real reason, though, was her nose is still broken, so there's no way she was going to wrestle.
Right. So she wanted her King of the Ring match postponed. Aldis says he can't do that, so he will replace her with Fire instead. As they leave, women's U.S. champion Zelina Vega comes in and wants Julia tonight, but Aldis says she isn't there. Selena trashed Julia for the sneak attack last week, thinking it would scare her. She will confront Julia face-to-face next week. She won't hide from anyone. Jade Cargill then defeated Piper Niven, Nia Jax, and Michin in a Queen of the Ring tournament fatal four-way first-round match by hitting Piper with Jaded to advance. She will face Roxanne Perez in the semifinal. Miss Money in the Bank, Naomi, came out to cut a promo. She says she took what she deserved. Tiffany screwed her out of beating Nia Jax for the title more than once. Naomi said that it will feel so good when she cashes in on Tiffany Stratton to become WWE Women's Champion. Tiffany came out to respond and dared her to cash in now. She said she's the same old Naomi, all talk, no action. She said, prove me wrong. Naomi said, I'm not stupid. I will cash in when you least expect it. She will make her life hell. So she advises Tiffany to proceed with caution. That's her new catchphrase. They have a stare down when suddenly Nia Jax attacks Tiffany from behind. Naomi considers cashing in, but Nia tells her to back off. So when she does, she hits the Annihilator on Tiffany to stand tall to booze. The tag teams were all in the office of Nick Aldis in the segment from early in the day. DIY suggested that Fraxium or the Street Profits should face the Wyatt Six. Aldis spoke up to say that the Motor City Machine Guns are the most veteran team, so he wanted to see them against the Wyatt Six. The Wyatt Sixes defeated the Motor City Machine Guns with Dexter Lumis doing a top rope leg drop on Sabin for the pin. Cena went up to Jimmy Uso in the back, asked him if he's seen Truth. Jimmy said no. Cena said he knows they are tight, so he told Jimmy to tell Killings to come meet him in the ring. Jimmy and Killings are tight. Okay. Glad we got that storyline through. Cena came out again, said Truth crossed lines with him. Then fans chanted, we want Truth. And Cena said he agrees, told Truth to come out and face him. Instead, CM Punk's music hit and Punk came out to confront Cena. Punk said for old time's sake, he'll give Cena the benefit of the doubt. Punk told Cena to stop what he was doing and let them celebrate him for what he did for the business and give them a happy ending. Cena asked Punk, why would Cena waste his time? Cena said that these people don't matter. Only the WWE title matters. Punk said he gave Cena out. Now it's time for some truth. Punk told Cena he couldn't beat Punk because when Punk was at his best, Cena never could. Now he's trying to imitate Punk by winning the title and leaving WWE. Punk already did that. Punk told Cena to fire up the private jet because he would follow him to Mars and hell to prove he was better than him. Punk said Cena is a GOAT, but so is Punk. Punk called Cena a joke. Punk said he sees through him and he always will. He always has, and that's the truth. And Punk starts to leave. Ron Killings jumps Cena from behind and puts him in the STF. Punk told Cena the truth hurts before and he said something else, and the mic really didn't catch it.
I think it was the I'm sorry. That's what
it was. Yeah, I'm sorry. The truth hurts before leaving as officials came out to get Killings off Cena. Byron Saxton interviewed Alexa Bliss in the back, said she isn't rattled. She didn't win Money in the Bank. She can still win Queen of the Ring. Charlotte Flair came up and said there's only room for one queen in WWE and gave her a woo. Nick Aldis approached Killings in the back, asking him what he wants. Killings said he wanted a match with Cena next week, so Aldis said, you got it. Alexa Bliss defeated Charlotte Flair, Alba Fire, and Candice LeRae in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Fatal 4-way round finish. Charlotte had Alba Fire in the figure 8, but Alexa hit Candice with the Sister Abigail DDT and pinned her with Alba tapping out right before the 3 count. Alexa bowed mockingly to Charlotte as she stared at a hole at Alexa while she walked away. Also, Alexa was mocking her with doing the crown on her head. Mm-hmm. Cody ran into Punk in the back, told him they can't keep avoiding each other forever. Punk agrees and wishes Cody good luck tonight as they shake hands. Punk said after Night of Champions, we'll see chasing who. Sorry. I'm reading caching for so dang on long. I got my dyslexia fired up. Main event, Cody Rhodes defeated Andrade, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Damian Priest in King of the Ring tournament Fatal 4-way round match. Cody hit his Crossroads Nakamura for the pin to advance to semifinals. Cody celebrated as the show came to a close. The final booking to the women's with Alexa and Charlotte was really good. This one was kind of lackluster with Cody because Nakamura's had him, and then Cody just fights out of it and then hits him with the Crossroads. I'm like, wow, that.
Well, at least those two didn't have any kind of serious interference,
right?
Like some of the other King of the Ring matches have, where the shenanigans have reached ridiculous levels, and did they reach ridiculous levels for the last one for the men's on Raw. We'll get to that. No, I love the finish to the final women's one. On SmackDown with Alexa pinning Candice just because they timed it well, where the ref hit the 3 and a second after that is when Alba finally tapped out. So it's like she pinned her just before Alba Fire tapped out to beat Charlotte to the punch.
Well, let's be honest though, even if Alba tapped out, the ref wouldn't see it anyway. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, we will.
But yeah,
I thought it was a very creative finish where once again Alexa gets the better of Charlotte, so they're continuing that storyline. It's Charlotte keeps losing, and it's how she's going to deal with it.
Yep. Finally, they're booking Charlotte, and it's Charlotte deal with it.
I'm interested to see where this goes. Actually,
yeah. I'm actually interested to see what they do with Charlotte because
she's on a downward spiral. She's on a losing streak.
Yeah. This is what I want to kind of get to next.
I like how this feud has been built, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. And because we didn't talk about it because the word on the street was they were finally going to debut Hikuleo maybe this week. They did as a dark match, I think.
Right.
So that means. Sorry, Jacob, you're about to be replaced.
Yeah,
because he's not gonna bow down to Solo again after what happened. So and then it's Solo's gonna be like, well, all right, well, I thought you figured you'd say that, and then out comes Hikuleo, and it's a 3-on-1 beatdown.
And then what do the Tongans do when they come back?
Exactly, that's the other thing that's going to be interesting to storyline when Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa come back. Whose side are they going to be on? Because Jacob is their bro, literally. Bro. It's they're all raised by Haku.
But what isn't Hikuleo the Tongan's actual brother?
I think so. Let me check.
So again, bloodline guys. You don't remember the giant family tree The Rock put up 2 years ago? Jesus, on that, but yeah.
Tama Tonga, Hikuleo is Tama Tonga's brother,
Which means he's Tongaloa's brother too.
Yes, adopted brother.
Yeah,
Tonga is technically a cousin. Haku is his biological uncle, but was basically adopted father, kind of like how Jacob he adopted. It's like Haku was a very cool guy. He was just like you know you're all family. It's like I'm taking care of you. So
yeah, you don't mess with Haku,
right?
Yeah,
these are his boys.
Yeah, I always remember.
So like Hikuleo siding with Solo, that's going to put Tama Tonga and Tongaloa in an interesting position. Like, they're going to have to choose one brother over the other.
Right.
Like, are they going to be on Jacob's side or are they going to still side with Solo? So
I just know that the Tongas are going to come back or whatever, and they're not going to know. And they'll be like, Jacob, we just don't know what to do. He's like, you better get in where you fit in because he's going to drop that line like 500 times.
Yeah. But I could easily see the Gorillas siding with Jacob, and then you have a perfect 3-on-3 feud.
Mm-hmm.
With Solo, Hikuleo, and Jeff Cobb against Jacob and the Tongans.
Right on that. The Cena promo at the beginning, it felt like he was pulling teeth a little bit. It was still fine. It was still good. Still good. I mean, Cena can't make a bad promo, but sometimes you can tell where he's trying to get a point across that isn't natural. But Cena is one of those mic skills goats that just he can get certain things. Like that type of promo is tough to get across if you're not a John Cena or a CM Punk or a Cody Rhodes. Right.
Yeah. It was the typical, like people who are gunning for Cena in the title are making it clear that they're gunning for Cena in the title. It's like, and although Cody's like, you talk about your master plan. Was me beating you at Money in the Bank part of your master plan?
Yeah. As far as I know, the last time we were in the ring together, you were looking up and I was pinning you.
Yeah. You were looking up at the stars.
Yeah.
And then Randy coming out and rightly calling out the fact that he had Cena dead to rights, but R-Truth saved his ass unintentionally. And that's why he won at Backlash. And he plans on winning King of the Ring to get his another shot. And I love my brother. He's like, Cody, I love you, but if I got to go through you to get back to Cena, I'm going to do it. So it's like, that's where the intrigue with the semifinals is set up here about, the different permutation matchups,
Right.
There's people involved who are like bros with each other. So it's like, but they all want that title shot. So it's like,
yeah,
something's got to give.
I just wish,
we could be heading to that.
We could be after we go over Raw. I'll give my a theory of where we're going with that.
Because we knew most likely Randy was going to match, and but at least Mello didn't take the pin this time.
Right.
LA Knight took the fall this time, thanks to shenanigans from Team Heyman. So that feud continues. So I was like, well, Bronson Reed better have eyes in the back because you know who's going to be showing up on Raw. And spoiler alert, he did for Payback. So that made sense. I knew that Bronson and Braun were going to show up as Payback. It's like they were going to retaliate after he fucked Braun over on Raw. So it's like you knew that was coming.
Here's what I'm a little taken aback with is because
exactly, Kev.
The Randy Cody match should be a bigger match than what they're doing with it, because we've been waiting for this Cody Randy match for a while, and we were like, oh, it could have happened in Mania, it could have happened here, could have happened there, and we're getting as a semifinal match. It's not a
no, it would be the finals, because remember the
he's facing Sami Zayn
and Randy and Cody J.
Oh, okay.
So
that's right. All right, I'll take that back. So then you could have, but I think Sami's going to win.
There's only two permutations that make sense. It's either going to be Randy versus Cody in the finals or Sami versus Jay in the finals.
Yeah.
And then either way, you have bro versus bro, and only one of them can win.
I think it's going to be Sami versus Jay.
That would be the preferable way to go, because Cody can get his rematch with Cena at SummerSlam without winning King of the Ring. It's like you reference pinning him at Money in the Bank. That's enough to earn a title shot usually.
Yeah.
So it's like Cody doesn't need to win King of the Ring. It's like Sammy versus Jay in the finals, with Sammy beating him in the Saudi to earn the title shot. That would blow the fucking roof off the place.
Because if you do it that way, and then Sammy and Jay, like they're brothers, right? But who's been on Sami Zayn's shoulder this whole time?
Karrion Kross.
Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
I told you you're going to have to do it, Sammy. You're not going to want to do it. Gosh damn it, Triple H, just pull the trigger.
Right.
He's getting pops on main event. I've seen him.
Well, Sammy already. All right, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Right. Just pull the trigger.
We'll get to that in a moment. But this was a decent episode of SmackDown. Most of the qualifying matches have been very entertaining. A lot of them have been booked very well. The two women's matches were not like the best on this show, but the two men's matches were definitely better. I think I liked the one Randy won over the one a little bit more than the one Cody won, because that one was a lot more easily predictable. He was like, whereas like the other one, yeah, Randy was the more obvious winner, but there was still maybe an outside shot they'd have an upset and have Melo maybe steal it instead. So there was a little bit of like ambiguity there compared to like, sorry, Damian. It's like we know Cody's winning this match.
Right. Wyatt 6 just kind of had their way with Motor City.
Yeah, that was almost like a squash.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did it seem like the fans were as into the Wyatts as they used to be? Because like it seemed like they got a pop, but not like a mega pop, like when they came back. So
you didn't really do much after they debuted, and then they just went away.
Right.
And now they're going after the tag division, and the fans just don't care about that. You have been fed, like I told you, you've been fed. The tag team division on SmackDown is so damn good, and no one cares.
Yeah, they gotta find a way to get the fans more invested, because like the tag teams are, it's like they got the talent there, and the promo work from everybody involved has been killing it lately. So I fucking love Heel DIY right now. They're so fun to watch. It warms my soul. It's like,
I'm just tired of sounding like
yeah. No, you guys go ahead and take care of the
Whites. You got it. Yeah,
we'll be here back here watching. It's like
no, they're great. And so is Street Profits, and so is Motor City. Now, Motor City's mic skills are
Fraxium, so it's like,
and Fraxium's great. Like it just.
So I assume Fraxium is probably going to get the next crack of the Wyatts. It feels like they're building toward the Wyatts getting the title shot.
Yeah. But the other stuff, we talked about it. So I was because on our Discord, guys, link down below. Join us over there. We talk wrestling all the time over there and other things. So it's a really fun hangout. Join us over there. We were discussing with Jade when she won. I looked it up.
Yeah.
Now Jade is in her 30s.
Really? Kate is referring to the tag titles, reunify them. It's like.
Yeah, but then they're unified, and then people didn't like it when they were unified. They want to separate it, but then when they separated, they didn't. So it's just like
it's like Raw. It's like we talked about. Raw's tag division is so fucking weak compared to SmackDown's. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It doesn't help.
But with Jade, she still is green.
Yeah.
Her best match was her and Nia.
Mm-hmm. I thought she did fine in this 4-way. I didn't see anything egregious, like any kind of like serious botches or anything.
But you can just tell they're protecting her still.
Yeah, which is why it annoys me that she's most likely going to win this. It's like I don't want to. Now, I'm already preparing for not enjoying watching her beat the Prodigy. In the next round. The only comfort I can take is that I trust Triple H. Jade is not going to be squashing the Prodigy. It's like it's going to be a back and forth match, and Roxanne's going to try to get the best match possible out of Jade. I guarantee you that. It's like, it's like it's exactly Kate. She's still green in some ways, so it's like we'll see if the Prodigy can pull a miracle and get a good match out of Jade.
Mark Henry trained. I was looking up. I was like, how green is she? Because I mean, she's kind of like a Dom Dallas Page. Like she got in late. in her wrestling career. So she only really started like she was super.
She only got she got a bit of training and then was thrown right into
AEW. And it's not like they developed stuff there. So,
right.
So she's, and then they really couldn't put her on NXT, so because she's just too much, because she was so big on AEW, so they're just cashing in, and so it's kind of a weird thing. It's like you can't take away that charisma and look, and with her in, like, oh, we can just finally gradually bring her along, which you can tell she's improved. She just hasn't improved in the state of where they're booking her,
right?
But they did throw Nia Jax out there when she wasn't ready, and now she's good.
Yeah, I will give Triple H credit. He didn't go the obvious, because I thought, oh, God, we're going to get Charlotte versus Jade in the finals. Oh, God help us. Nope. She made sure that Alexa won that first round match instead of Charlotte. I was like, okay, now things are like you spice things up a little bit.
Yeah. And also, Naomi still having the best work of her life.
Yep. Absolutely killing it. Loved it. She rightly pointed out, like, Tiffany fucked me over more than once when I was trying to win the title from Nia. So now payback is a biatch.
Also, shout out to Naomi for shutting up the crowd when they try to do the what chant.
Exactly. She did a great counter to the what chant. Really love that.
Right. So, yeah, like you said, just
no. Charlotte needs to continue to lose because it's like she doesn't need to be shoved down our throats anymore.
Nope.
And so I'm glad, and it's very obvious that the storyline between her and Alexa is heading somewhere. I would guess maybe a match at Evolution, because don't see Alexa winning the next round because of who her opponent is after Raw. So we'll get to that in a minute.
Let's go ahead and get to it when you're ready.
Yeah, let's get over to Monday Night Raw.
Full disclosure, I had some Netflix problems, so I had to watch the highlights because I can't get on Netflix right now. So bear with me on this. I'm going to kind of lean a little bit on Justin and just kind of give me my 2 cents about storyline stuff, not really the show itself. I just had to watch highlights. So I'm sorry about that. We'll get it all fixed, and I'll be back to breaking down more details later, but I will go ahead and give you the recap. It was Michael Cole and Corey Graves on commentary as Pat was off again this week. Liv Morgan and IC champ Dominic Mysterio came out to the ring. Liv cut a promo saying this is her division, and when you talk about her division, you should talk about her. Liv claimed that Nikki Bella was at home all beat up watching. Liv mocked Io Sky for saying that Nikki paved the way for them. Liv said she's demanding respect just like she's demanding the rematch that she never got for the Women's World Championship. Io Sky comes out and tells Liv to do everyone a favor and shut up to a big pop. All she does is whine and disrespect. She disrespected Nikki and her, and if she wants a fight, to fight her. Liv says yes, but only if the title is on the line. Io said you have to earn the title and you can't steal it like you stole Dirty Dom.
Io was bringing the
Io was bringing some heat. Yeah, sounds like it. Liv said she could take the title right now. So Io said, "Okay, have it," and tossed it to her. And she caught, and as she caught it, she drop kicked Liv and kicked her and Dom out of the ring as the fans cheered. We saw Stephanie Vaquer make her entrance as we went to an ad break. Oh, great, an ad break during an entrance.
Oh, don't remind me about the ad breaks.
Back from a break, Liv went up to Raquel and Gorilla and told her to go out and win tonight. She made her entrance with Ivy already in the ring. Again, ad breaks, entrances, whatever. Asuka came out last to her old theme. Yay, it's back. Music to a big pop as the fans chanted welcome back to her at the start of the match. Then Asuka defeated Stephanie Vaquer, Raquel Rodriguez, and Ivy now in Queen of the Ring tournament. Raquel hit the Texana bomb on Stephanie, but Rhea pulled her out to break up the pin. She gave her riptide outside the ring, then tossed her back in, and Asuka followed up with what Cole said she calls the Empress Impact, a hip attack to pin Raquel and advance to face Alexa Bliss in the semifinals. So welcome back. Kathy Kelly interviewed Asuka in the ring afterwards. Asuka said that the fire in her didn't die and still alive. She is going to win Queen of the Ring, and no one is ready for Asuka. That's such an old school line that she still says that. It's cool.
It's a great catchphrase. I always loved you're not ready for Asuka.
Yeah. The Judgment Day were in the clubhouse with Roxanne Perez there as well. Liv walked up to Raquel asking her to come help her, but Raquel had an ice pack and said she was not cleared. Liv wasn't happy and left to take care of it herself. JD had a match with AJ Styles, so Dom said Finn Balor should stay in the back since Finn failed to beat him. Finn told Dom to support JD at ringside, and he agreed, so they left. Finn told Raquel she's doing great. Finn then told Roxanne he had an idea how to help Liv and to come with him. And of course, we never know.
And we didn't get that because of what happened to Liv.
Right. And then Gunther came out to cut a promo celebrating the fact that he beat Jey Uso last week to become World Heavyweight Champion. He said Jey was the better man for one night at Mania and beat him, but every other night he is untouchable. Gunther said he heard all the rumors about what's next for him, and fans chanted Goldberg. So Gunther said that guy learned his lesson. Gunther said Seth Rollins has Money in the Bank now, and Seth warned him if he had it, Gunther would be a target. He told Seth to come get him. He's right here when Goldberg's music hit, and he came out to the ring as he was breathing heavy as he got in the ring.
Limping.
Justin didn't say that. I did. Goldberg congratulated Gunther on his victory, but reminded him about how he started something with his family several months ago, and Goldberg said he'll end it in Atlanta, Georgia. Goldberg said on July 12th at Saturday night's main event, "You're mine because you're next." The fans cheered as Gunther left the ring and Goldberg posed on the turnbuckle. It was later made official. The world title will be on the line in the match too. AJ Styles defeated JD McDonough with a Styles clash. Dom tried to attack it. AJ fought him off. Finn Balor came out to help as AJ posed with the IC title in the ring. The three of them tried to attack AJ, but Styles slipped out of the ring and went back to the back. With the title. Sheamus was shown getting ready in the back when Natalya, Maxine Dupree, and Akira Tozawa showed up to talk to him. Sheamus asked how Otis was doing, and Dupree said he'll be back soon. They wanted Sheamus to beat Rusev tonight. Bayley was shown walking backstage while Grayson Waller and Austin Theory argued for like the fourth week in a row. New Day were standing beside Waller.
Split over with already, for the love of God.
Yeah, the New Day were standing beside Waller as that was happening, with Xavier Woods having the funniest, craziest outfit ever. That was funny. Bayley came out to cut a promo. She told the fans that she missed them a lot while she was out. Wrestling is what she was born to do. Bayley talked about how what's most important to her, and it's what she pours her heart into every single night. She was robbed of a WrestleMania match and a chance to win the women's tag team titles, which meant a lot to her. She told Becky, "If you think robbing me of the Mania match broke me, you're wrong. It healed her. He made her strong. She's going to climb the ladder, knock Becky down, and take everything from her." She called Becky to come out, and Becky did the booze, wearing a Chicago Bears jacket in Green Bay. The fans chanted, "Bears still suck," but Becky said that which of course Becky's husband is a Bears fan, so you all know.
Yeah.
But Becky said that they beat the Packers last time for more heat. They did. They are the Bears. The Bears are undefeated against the Packers in 2025, just because of how it kind of worked out. It's true. She told Bayley that they have one thing in common. They were never supposed to be at the top of this business, but Bayley is okay being second fiddle while Becky isn't. Bayley cares more about having friends than her legacy, while Becky is about her legacy. Bayley says she isn't worried about her legacy because she is already a Hall of Famer. Becky says they didn't miss Bayley at Mania and cheered when she came out to take her place. Bayley says Becky was so scared about what the fans would think that she couldn't handle it and took her out, and then Lyra too. Becky said, "If you want a match, you can have a match, but not for the title and not in Green Bay. So see you next week." And she tried to slap Bayley, but Bayley nailed her with a forearm and Becky bailed. Great segment there. Jey Uso was with Kathy Kelly and cut a promo on his King of the Ring match. AJ Styles was shown backstage with Nick Aldis filling in for Adam Pearce tonight. Adam Page, Jesus. We'll get to him later. He took back the IC title and told AJ that he is going to get an Intercontinental title match against Dirty Dom at Night of Champions. AJ was very happy and left. Bayley came up to Aldis. He told her since Becky took a title match from her at Mania, he was going to give her one back, and that the women IC title will be on the line next week between Becky Lynch and Bayley. Bayley walked away and saw Lyra Valkyria. Bayley said she was sorry for not responding to her message since Mania, but Bayley wasn't really herself or responding to many people. Lyra gets it. She is doing what is best for her. And Bayley said, if Bayley wins the title, then Lyra will do for it's a triple threat, guys. It's going to be a triple threat at Evolution. Just book it. Kairi Sane defeated Liv Morgan via referee stoppage because Liv suffered a shoulder injury, which still sucks. They aired some video packages to kill time due to the injury cutting the match short. Cole then confirmed Liv suffered a separated shoulder and is being taken care of in the back. wishing her a speedy recovery. Kathy Kelly was interviewing Sami Zayn in the back. He will face Randy Orton, King of the Ring semifinals on SmackDown this week. Sami said that the opportunity is here, and this time it feels different. Karrion Kross interrupts to a pop from the fans, rightfully so.
Yep.
He says it won't be different. He will lose to Randy, who will go on and win and become a 15-time world champion while Sami stays at 0. Sami told Kross that he's a coward who stays in the shadows and talks in riddles. Maybe Kross can back up what he says. Sami says he has the courage to pick himself up after a loss, and he knows Kross can't say the same. After he is done with King of the Ring, he's going to ask for a match between him and Kross to settle things. Kross said it's about time and leaves. And in the main event, Jey Uso defeated. It's talking about overbooking, guys. Jey Uso defeated Bronson Reed, Sheamus, and Rusev in King of the Ring tournament. The chaos began when Jey went up to the top rope to hit Reed with a splash, but Braun Breaker appeared and knocked him down. Sami came out to attack Braun, but Braun tossed him over an announce desk. Penta then ran out and hit a somersault dive over the top rope onto Braun on the floor. Then Bronson went up to hit Jey with a tsunami, but LA Knight appeared. It shoved Reed off the top rope. Jey then hit Reed with back-to-back splashes off the top rope to pin him and advance to face Cody in the semifinals. Then Seth music hit. He stormed down to the ring pissed off. He went to go stomp Jey, but Cody's music hit, and he came out for the save. Cody and Seth had a stare down, and Seth backed off and left with the rest of the of Team Heyman. Cody and Jey had a stare down, but then shook hands. The show came to an end.
Whew, that match.
Yeah.
All kinds of
that had more overbooking than WrestleMania 40.
One chaos. It's like, look, just watch that main event match. It's like one running after another. It's like I was like, okay, when's Braun gonna show up? All right. I was like, okay, now shit's about to get crazy. It's like, get out here, Sami. Oh, there's LA Knight to screw.
What up, Jessica? Thanks for joining.
What's up, Jessica? Yeah. So yeah, no, the main event was great. I thought both King and Queen of the Ring matches on the show were good. The main event was overbooking in a good way. It's like you knew LA Knight was going to show up. You knew Braun was going to show up. So I like that Sami came out to help to back Jey up because he's his bud. So that all those run-ins made sense.
Penta?
Because I think it's working.
That's basically what I was getting to.
Like Penta's made it clear that he's not a fan of Team Heyman either. So
how are they going to get to the triple threat with Lyra? Not to get away with that because I want to save that for last as far as my prediction for.
I'll get to that in a second. We'll talk. I want to talk about quickly. I appreciate the booking of the Queen of the Ring match because it's like there's only two outcomes that made sense. Either Asuka was going to win or Stephanie's going to win. Now. It made more sense for Asuka to win because, number one, she just came back. And number two, you don't need to strap the rocket to Stephanie that quickly. She's already over. She's eventually going to win plenty of titles. So she didn't get pinned. So this doesn't hurt her at all. No. So it's like you want to have Asuka come back strong from injury. So her winning makes sense. I expect her to go all the way to the finals. She's definitely beating Alexa next week. So Asuka's going to go all the way to the finals. She's going to win. Probably not, but either way, she gets to look at. Although her winning would be very interesting, her versus Io at SummerSlam match, very very intriguing. With all the history there. But I love the fact that they teased the fans with Asuka versus Stephanie, and they were into it. It's like I love the sequence where like she was trying to take Asuka down. Asuka was like no sell and stuff until finally she just started headbutting her. And then Asuka finally started to go down to Wendy. It's like, okay, damn it.
Yeah,
I like that. Also, the Devil's Kiss on Raquel on the apron was great. It's like one of the most over moves in WWE right now. The Devil's Kiss, and also. It's a great way to get heel heat because like Raquel interrupted the Devil's Kiss and got some mega heat from the fans for interrupting it. So it's like,
this is a PG show, guys, except for the Devil's Kiss.
Like, I don't know if we can do Booker T justice.
No. Oh yeah, Conan. I like this.
So no, it's okay that Stephanie lost. It's like La Primera is going to be just fine. And yeah, no, Asuka versus Stephanie 1-on-1 down the line is going to be a fucking banger.
Yeah. Asuka versus Io.
That. The opening promo with Liv and everything, I like that. And then sadly, it sucks that the Liv injury, it means that the whole segment is now completely irrelevant because it was really good.
Yeah. And you knew that, like we were saying, alluded to earlier in the show, that Nikki was going to be backstage, and she was probably
then the whole thing with Finn's like, Roxanne, I think I got an idea how we can help Liv. And like now we'll never know what that really was, unless maybe it's played into on Raw now with the injury. Who knows? We'll see. But so it sucks that the Liv injury, it prevented Nikki from being on TV, and also the
angle with Roxanne,
and that all had to get scrapped. So it sucks all the way. We were talking about injury, really sucks. Freak accident. Really, really unfortunate. Did a good job for stalling for time with the video packages and stuff to make up for the time lost. See the Sammy Cross stuff. I'm really digging it. I'm looking forward to when they finally throw down. It's like it makes me wonder like what's going to happen. It's funny. It's like I saw JD Morgan's like I can't see them not doing Randy versus Cody finals. It's like, but how can you not do Jay versus Sammy in the finals at the same time? Yeah. It's like either you could do either or, and it's like I'm leaning more toward it being Jay versus Sammy, like I said, for obvious reasons. So I hope they go that way, and not the more obvious Randy versus Cody, showdown. It's like
with and I'm liking this all babyface 4 guys left in the King of the Ring because it's just intriguing of what you could do, especially now. Obviously, the Goldberg Gunther stuff. If anyone's going to get a good match out of Goldberg, who basically can't walk, it's going to be. If
anyone can pull a miracle and get a good match out of Oldberg, it's
the Ring General.
That's why they chose him.
Right. And then people are like, "Well, he didn't need the title," but then again, I don't think you're like, okay. If you take the title. Hold on. If you take the title off of Jay and put Gunther, and then you really didn't need the title. But the thing is, if you take the title off Jay, then Jay wouldn't be doing this King of the Ring stuff and still be involved with everything. He'd still just be doing his, I still have the title, but I'm in the King of the Ring tournament. Like he would be in the waist. He would be kind of over in the middle. Like he'd be over in left field right now if he still had the title. At least they made the same thing with LA Knight not winning Money in the Bank. They are putting him everywhere.
Right. My problem is it has nothing to do with Gunther having the title again. I'm with the other people of like, even Sean Ross Sapp was like, Goldberg getting a title shot makes no fucking sense.
Makes no sense. That I agree with, but I'm saying Gunther having the title.
Everybody's in agreement that's not the title did not need to be on the line. No. It's like he doesn't deserve or has earned any way to get a title shot.
You deserve a retirement match, but you don't deserve a title shot for the retirement match.
Like Dave LaGreca went on a great rant on Buzzin' Over Radio about him getting Gunther Goldberg is a title match on Saturday Night's Main Event. And even Bubba Ray was like, "Yeah, that's not a good idea, dude.
It's not a good idea. It's not."
So it's like everybody from the guys at Bust Open to Sean Ross Sapp are all like, "This does not compute, WWE. No, come on, man."
No. Again, I'm not in favor of him getting a title shot. But I understand why Jay lost the title based on how they're booking him, because
I understand they want to add as much spice as possible because that Saturday Night's Main Event is later in the day after All In, and they're trying to steal as much thunder from AEW that day because they already got NXT Great American Bash going head to head, and then after All In pay-per-views over, Saturday Night's Main Events on the evening, and that's why they're doing the Gunther Goldberg match.
You better step your game up because that All In card right now is looking pretty damn good. So you're gonna go up against Omega, and anyway, but it's like,
I feel sorry for the NXT card that day. It's like
that All In card is it's fun.
There's a lot of great matches of it.
But anyway, but yeah, you didn't. I understand the booking idea behind it. And again, I'm more understanding why I'm more understanding why they took the title off of Jay and put it on.
Yeah, people are calling him over because he looks old.
He looks old. Father Time catches up to us all. I understand he wants to go out his way.
He's talked about how it's like how he's injured himself more than once trying to train in preparation for this match. So it's like people are like, this has got disaster written all over right now. So it's like we got to pray that Gunther is going to pull a miracle and get a watchable match out of this whole situation. So it's like,
at least,
and also boys and girls out there worrying that somehow Goldberg is going to beat Gunther for the title. No. That would have probably happened if Vince McMahon was still in charge. Triple H is not going to do that to his boy Gunther. It's like he's not going to have him job to Goldberg.
No.
Vince would.
If you want to know why they have Gunther in this match and not some other older person, go watch, if you can, go watch that old Goldberg versus Undertaker match that almost killed Undertaker.
That Saudi match was.
But you could just tell both of them couldn't do it anymore.
Well, one of them got concussed too. It busted open.
Yeah.
So that whole match was a serious disaster.
Serious.
And then they Vince had Goldberg beat the Fiend for the Universal title in Saudi, which killed the Fiend character permanently. It's like it was already bad. It was barely on life support after the Hell in the Cell disaster with Seth, but the Goldberg beating him clean in Saudi to win the title just before Mania was like the final nail in the coffin of that character.
Yeah. Okay. What else do you want to talk about? Because like I said, I didn't,
because he wanted the Roman Goldberg, but then COVID happened, and Roman Goldberg didn't happen for quite a while.
And Braun Strowman beat him. Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do.
Instead we got Braun Strowman beating Goldberg for the title at Mania instead of the Universal title at Mania.
You want to talk about Bayley and Becky and Lyra now?
Yes, the Becky Bayley's promo was great. The back and forth between her and Becky was great. I loved everything about it. Lots of great stuff from both of them. This is the heel character that I wish Becky had been able to pull off a couple years ago when she came back from taking time off to have her daughter Rue when she squashed Bianca at SummerSlam and pissed everyone in the IWC off, and myself included. Even though I'm a Becky fan, I thought that booking was complete fucking bullshit. And we got the big time Bex heel character for the next year until Bianca beat her again at SummerSlam the following year, and then she went back to being babyface right when Damage Control debuted. So it's like, which was the right move, but because that heel character did not work because the fans were still wanting to cheer. Someone
else was in charge and was in charge of her writing, and you can tell night and day. Big time Bex was scripted as hell and not her. And this Becky character is 100% Becky doing her Becky
stuff. The ironic thing is, like, I've read some experts from Becky's autobiography. I haven't read the whole thing yet, but she did, despite the booking, she did enjoy the heel run because it gave her a lot more freedom to do stuff.
Right.
But she wasn't a fan of her beating Bianca like that. And she says in the book that she vowed to herself to make it up to Bianca because she said that after the match was over in the back, Bianca came up and hugged her, and she took it very well. And she said, like, she was really impressed that Bianca took it well because normally most people would not have taken losing the title like that very well. But Bianca was all very professional, and that really impressed Becky. And so she was like, I'm going to make it up to her and make sure I put her over really well when she wins the title back. And that's exactly what happened. Because that feud, because their Mania match and then their SummerSlam match were both awesome. And she put Bianca over. So it started off awful, and then it worked out well.
So you're saying Becky puts over superstars, and we're actually caring about Lyra now?
Yeah, because and this time this heel one is even better because the heel character work is better, and what she's done for Lyra has helped elevate Lyra at the same time. And now we got this nice little juicy side part of the whole storyline with Becky and Bayley finally going at each other one-on-one, which is I'm looking forward to. So. I wonder what's going to happen next week because it's not going to be probably like a clean finish or something. That's probably going to lead to a rematch at Evolution or triple threat. Or they could do the rematch just at Evolution, then do the triple threat at SummerSlam with Lyra involved. Because I like how Lyra's like, understandably not happy. Like, oh, you're back. Okay, you're back now, and you're getting first crack at Becky ahead of me for the title. Lyra's understandably miffed about that. So
Right.
that adds some intrigue because both Bayley and Lyra have both been wronged by Becky, but because they both want the title, it's going to cause problems for them.
Evolution. Hey, Coaster Maniacs, welcome. I've been a wrestling fan for 20 plus years, and you're like seeing his run. Okay, hey man, if it's working for you, it's working for you. It's finally starting to work for me, but it's been a while. So, but that's cool. You're at Medi 35 too. Awesome.
Well, she admitted that it's like by the time, just before she found out she was pregnant with her daughter, that things with the man babyface character were getting stale. So that's why she was perfectly fine with coming back as a heel when they brought her back, when they did. She was okay with the heel turn. She wasn't thrilled about squashing Bianca in like 15 seconds. She didn't think that was a good idea. But like she was like, people were like, well, why didn't she do anything? Stand up like she thinks she's gonna say no to Vince. It's like, or she could think she could have convinced Vince to change her mind at the time. Nah, it's like she knew that was going to be a losing battle. So, but like I said, she ended up making it up to Bianca with a good feud and banger matches afterwards.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing when Bianca's one of. I mean, obviously, Bianca and Mercedes is still one of my favorites that they did. So, but yeah, no, I'm liking where this triple threat is going. It's elevating Lyra to being not just a intercontinental.
Also, you give Lyra an edge because, like, you could tell she was like pretty pissed that Bayley was getting the title shot ahead of her against Becky. So, although she's like, "Well, you got to do what you're going to do. What's best for you, and if you win the title, I'll do what's best for me."
Right.
You could tell Bayley was just like, it's like you could tell like. This sucks. It's like I gotta get my hands on her. It's
right.
Like, I want to take the title from her.
And the way they're booking it, Lyra also seems like she belongs in the ring with both of them, which is tough. Which is a tough booking to do when you're trying to get a star who has been pretty meh in her run so far on the main roster. It wasn't until she got with the Becky situation that she seems like she belongs. So it feels like Lyra belongs in that triple.
I like the meta conversation they had where I love that Becky started out with a very, very 100% factual statement that Becky, of the 4 horsewomen, they thought it was going to be Charlotte and Sasha were going to be at the top. Yeah. But Becky and Bayley showed that they were just as good, if not better, than those two.
Right.
And they got their chance to shine, and they both worked their ass off to get it. That nobody expected them to succeed like they have succeeded. Like people thought that they were going to do really good on the main roster, but they didn't think that what Bayley and Becky have both accomplished, especially Becky doing the main event and everything. So I like that she brought that up. Like people didn't think that we were gonna, we could make it to the top. But the difference between you and me is it's like you care about putting other people over and stuff like that. I don't. It's like which in her character makes sense, but in reality it's not 100%. Right. But I like how she brought up how like you care about helping other people and being friends. You're okay with being second fiddle. I prefer being on top. And I like that. I love how Bayley came back with like, I'm not worried about my legacy because I'm already a Hall of Famer. I was like, you're damn right you are. Mm-hmm. It's like both Becky and Bayley are Hall of Famers already.
Yeah,
their career's not even over yet.
Right. Okay. So going into my prediction for War Games right now with where they're going with it. So you've got.
Are you talking about men or women?
Men.
Okay.
Because that's the only one right now that we're actually like visualizing where they're kind of going with it. So you have obviously Team Heyman right now with Seth, Bronson, and Breaker.
Yep.
Now they're always going to add some other people, but so that's what we got there. It's probably going to be Sammy, LA Knight, Jay. Those are the 3 that I have so far.
And probably Cody.
And probably Cody. Because they tease it at the end. Why would he come out randomly at the end?
Yeah, exactly. They've been teasing these stare downs between him and Cody. It's like it's making it clear that they had their beef for the past, but then they put that aside because they worked together to take Roman down. But now they're on opposite sides again, and Cody's gonna really call out. It's like, you helped me take down Roman. You basically taken Roman's place. It's like It's like Solo said. Looks like you got your own bloodline now, and Cody's gonna call him out that. It's like, how or what you've got Heyman now in your corner, and you got guys around you. What's different between what you're doing and the bloodline? It's like he's gonna call out the hypocrisy.
And I think. Do you think Roman's going to be involved with it? Like he's going to be the last guy?
I would
add. So. That's like when he comes back and being like, "You only have 4 guys," and everyone's going to be like, "Oh, okay, I know where they're going with this."
Exactly. Yeah. No. Roman's going to be coming back at some point certain soon because the obvious setup would be Roman Seth 1-on-1 at SummerSlam to give Seth to do something to do outside of a potential cash in. At SummerSlam, depending on what the title match is.
Right.
Because Roman's going to be coming back from his little typical post-WrestleMania vacation, either at Night of Champions or sometime after Night of Champions. And he's going to be coming right for Seth because what happened the last time that we saw him on TV, him and Punk got laid out when Team Heyman was first formed, when Braun was revealed as the first recruit.
Right.
So. And him and Punk got stomped like into oblivion that night. Yeah. So it's like he's going to be coming for Seth.
Yeah, which I think it would make sense really if they have Ethan.
And plus, then Seth is going to be like, I got to take care of Roman because I cannot let Roman fuck me over when because Roman could potentially fuck up my cash in, and I cannot let that happen. I need to take him out so I know my cash in is not going to be interfered with.
Yeah. So if they add Ethan, do you think Cody adds Ricky because Ricky's his boy?
That makes sense.
So, but all right, yeah. Hey, Caden, yeah, stay safe. Thanks for always joining us. We'll be doing this next week.
Like Caden,
we're trying to do it next week. 4th of July week. We'll let you all know because that's always a busy week, especially 4th of July coming on Thursdays. But we will keep you all posted on that. But we will see you all next week. Same as well on that. But I would think if you're going to put Ethan in there, might as well put Ricky on the other side because they already have that feud there.
That makes sense.
Yep. But we've got some weeks to go. We've got some months to go before we get to the War Games. We still got King of the Ring and everything like that.
I thought this was a good Raw, not a great Raw. I thought this was a solid Raw.
Yeah.
It's a good match. It's good storyline advancement.
Just sucks to live.
The Liv injury definitely kind of like sucked a little bit of the energy out of the show, but the main event definitely did a good job of ending on a good note with some fun craziness. So now we got some intrigue here. So now the semifinals for both King and Queen are all set. So for the women, we've got Asuka versus Alexa and Jade versus Roxanne.
Yeah.
And then for the men, we've got Jay versus Cody and then Savy versus Randy. So it's like, especially on the men's side, there's a lot of intrigue about who could potentially move on and face each other in the finals at Night of Champions.
Yeah, and that Roxanne Jade match is probably going to be. They're probably going to they're booking it different based on the fact that Liv's hurt.
I would hope so because like if Roxanne somehow pulls off an upset and goes to the finals, Roxanne versus Asuka in the finals would be awesome.
Yeah.
Because Asuka's definitely beating Alexa. Either she's going to do it clean or Charlotte could fuck over Alexa as payback for everything that's been happening the last couple weeks because she's been losing and Alexa has been very clearly mocking her about it. So Charlotte's going to snap on Alexa at some point in the near future. And that'll probably set up an evolution match, I would assume.
Yeah. All right. Let's go back to Mexico for the AEW Grand Slam Mexico. The show opened with Hangman Adam Page coming out to cut a promo. He did it mostly in Spanish with Excalibur trying to translate as quickly as possible.
Yeah, he was scrambling.
It's Hangman. Not so dumb, is he?
I borrowed from what people said that he said online.
Okay.
It's like partial. It's not exactly everything he said. For shortness sake, I left out. He told a long story about migrant workers coming to work on his farm when he was a kid and learning from them about Mexican culture and speaking Spanish and stuff. And so he has a great respect for, Mexican people and stuff and all that. But I put the more important stuff in there. So go ahead.
He thanks the fans for having them in CMLL's house, and together they have the best wrestling in the world. Paige doesn't like Moxley, and while he won't be wrestling tonight, Paige can do something after the main event is over. And then Atlantis, Adam Cole, Brody King, Daniel Garcia, Bandito, and Templario, and Atlantis Jr. defeated Acario, Kyle Fletcher, Takeshita, Josh Alexander, Lance Archer, Dax Harwood, and Volador
Jr.
Thank you. In a 14-man tag team match. Holy crap.
So many people that they couldn't all have them on the apron at the same time.
Nope. Let the bodies hit the floor on that one. They aired a video package on Okada joining the Don Callis family before his title unification match with Kenny Omega. Kazuchika Okada defeated Mark Briscoe with the Rainmaker after the match. Okada beat up Mark Briscoe some more, including...
Okay, please stop jobbing Mark Briscoe, for the love of God.
Then Mystico defeated MJF by DQ when MJF got frustrated and kicks him in the balls in front of the ref. The Syndicate give Mystico a beatdown, and MJF takes off his mask before some baby faces, including Bailey and Knight, make the save. They give Mystico a backup copy of his mask. Hologram defeated Ricochet, Mascara, Dorado, and Leo Rush in a four-way with a spinning torture rack bomb on Rush. Or Rush, sorry, not Rush. Leo Rush, there's Rush too. I know that's why I get them all confused when you put Rush at the end.
Yeah.
Mercedes Moné defeated is it Zuxis?
Yeah.
To win the CMLL Women's World Championship with Zuxis when Zuxis takes her to the middle rope for a slam, which is reversed into a small package to give Monet the pin and the title, and she has like a gajillion titles now. Post-match, Toni Storm pops up in a video for a film noir style speech about how she's coming for Monet. Mina Shirakawa appears on the stage for a distraction as Toni comes up from behind Monet and gives her a German suplex. Monet escapes before Toni can do anything more. And in the main event, the Beast Mortis, who is dating Mercedes Moné in real life.
They went public with their relationship. So you're a lucky man, Beast Mortos.
Yep. And then, Beast Mortos, Beast Mortos, this is the first time he's been in CMLL for like 13 years because he went to AAA for a bunch of time.
I think Mercedes pulled some strings for her new boyfriend.
Yep. John Moxley, Willie Eula, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson defeated Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, Samoa Joe, Shibata, and Powerhouse Hobbs in a 10-man tag team match when Moxley pinned Swerve with a handful of his tights and a roll-up. After the match, they go to try and hurt Swerve, but Hangman comes out to make the save. He fights with Moxley and goes to give him a buckshot lariat, but he hits Nick Jackson instead, pissing off the Bucks. Moxley goes to use the title belt briefcase, but the faces are ready, so he backs down and the heels leave as Hangman and the baby faces stand tall to close the show. So Hangman helps Swerve.
Yes. Intrigue. Drama.
Intrigue. The best storyline in wrestling, then the plot
now, of course,
thickens.
With Swerve ask him, he'll just say, I was just out there to get my hands on Moxley.
Yes, exactly. Right.
I'm also more intrigued between the Bucks because he laid out Nick instead of getting his hands on Moxley, and that pisses the Bucks off because they still wanted to try to work with Hangman and all that. I did love that Moxley tried to sneak in to do an attack with a briefcase, but Hangman and them all turned and looked at him like
really?
And then he's like, okay, no.
I mean, this was I don't like that they're jobbing Mark Briscoe. You knew Mercedes was going to win the match.
Mark Briscoe as a jobber is not cool, man.
No. You knew Mercedes was going to win.
I know, and it's it's ridiculous. She has so many belts that when they gave her the CML one, it's like she was trying to hold all of them up, and like one or two of them dropped off her arms. It's like give me a fucking break. But I'm not blaming Mercedes. She's
Mercedes.
I love Mercedes as a wrestler. She's one of the best women's wrestlers on the planet. There's no question about that. She's fantastic in the ring. When her and Tony are going to try to tear the house down at All In.
I think they will.
This booking of her being a belt collector, they
did it with Kenny.
They did with Kenny, but Kenny used that to help elevate people and other people billing him for some of the belts he had.
Mm-hmm.
Where it feels like this is what Chief and working on people are ranting about. How is this elevating the women's division when you have Mercedes just beat everybody else in the division except Toni Storm. And so all you're left with is this match.
Toni
and it's going to be a great match. There's no doubt. But if she beats Toni, then what?
Right.
Who do you believe in this division has any chance of beating her when she's beaten just about everybody? The only people who have not jobbed to Mercedes outside of Toni are like Megan, Bane, and Thekla. Thekla just got there. She's beaten all the other top baby faces in the division.
Right.
So it's like,
I don't know, man.
How is that elevating the women's division with her dominating like this? And most of this, you want to blame it's straight at the feet of Tony Khan's booking. He's obviously loves Mercedes, and he's booking her to the top to the detriment of a lot of the other great talent that they have there.
It's because ever since she sat there and said she wouldn't mind going back to WWE, Tony is trying to protect his asset as much as possible. That's in the back of my mind is what I think.
He wants to convince her not to go back to WWE when her contract comes up.
Yep. That's pretty much what it is.
I'll tell you what. Even if her contract comes up, WWE may be interested, but they're not going to be willing to pay the kind of money that Tony's going to pay her because WWE doesn't need Mercedes anymore.
No. I mean,
within the last year, we saw the rise of Roxanne Perez out of NXT. Then they brought in Stephanie McCurry, Julia, and Jordan Grace. They just also brought in Mariah May, now known as Blake Monroe.
Yep, and that's why I think Tony, because we lost Mariah.
All the other talent they got in the pipeline in NXT, the women's division in WWE is the most loaded it has probably ever been since this whole Renaissance revolution began 10 years ago.
But that's the thing that's why he's booking it this way is because yes, WWE doesn't need her, but he's afraid that she's going to just use it to propel her name, make the right deal with WWE and go back there and main event another wrestler. Because look at what Mariah May literally
exactly
no one knew who she was.
Yeah.
No one did.
She went to AEW to boost herself up to make her look great so that WWE would finally be like, you know what? Now, we're definitely interested in signing you now. So which is what she wanted because, like Stephanie McCurry, WWE has been her dream goal. And now like Stephanie McCurry is now a reality.
Right.
So,
and Triple H doesn't mind bringing back people that have shunned him before because CM Punk's there.
Right. And it's like, and plus with Vince gone, it's like Mercedes knows that Triple H would undoubtedly treat her better than Vince ever did.
Right.
She said that she was seriously considering going back to WWE, but TK threw a shit ton of money at her, and she couldn't say no to that.
Mm-mm.
And plus, with the creative freedom and probably creative control, she's not going to say no to that either. So
no, I don't think she's not Hogan as creative control, but she's got Tony by the you-know-whats because Tony doesn't want to lose her.
Yeah.
Because she is a draw.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
She pulls in money. And putting her against Toni Storm, that's as much as I would have loved a bunch of other people against Toni Storm and All In, that's kind of the match you need.
No, it's them. Tony versus Mercedes makes sense. And it's like, I'm excited for the match. It's just that Mercedes beating her for the title, I think would be the wrong move. But it's like, but I don't see that not happening. Yeah. Unless Tony wants to pull a shocker where Tony actually beats her for the title, and then you do a storyline where because he could totally do a prophecy because Jamie Hayter said that it's like at some point you're going to lose all these titles and then you're going to have nothing.
Right.
That could come true.
Yeah.
And it starts with not beating Tony at All In, and then one by one, she starts losing all of the titles that she's accumulated. One at the other until she's got nothing. It's like they could go that route, which would be the better route because, like, I don't see where do you go if she beats Tony? Who is there? Who are you gonna have her feud with? All the other top babies have been neutered and beaten.
I don't know. I did on Wrestle Talk. They said that because of what MJF did to Mystico, some fan tried to track down MJF?
He got like old school kayfabe. I want to murder that heel kind of heat. The kind of like Roddy Piper and guys used to get back in the day, where the mother fans tried to fucking murder them in the arena with knives and shit.
Right.
Like
apparently MJF just
I was not surprised because he did one of the things that can get you the most mega heat you can get in Mexico is ripping off a luchador's mask.
Right.
It's like
right.
So was not surprised when I heard that. Thankfully, nothing happened.
But
not surprised that happened.
No, not surprised that MJF did. Like that's exactly what the booking was supposed to do, but it didn't. They brought him out another thing, and just MJF just great.
That match with Mystico, I think, was the match of the night. Honestly,
yeah.
It's outside the finish. Because obviously they want to keep the feud going and they didn't want to have either Mystico or MJF job. So that was the out where MJF was frustrated that he couldn't put Mystico away and he lost his cool and got DQ'd on purpose.
Right. But heel MJF is just when he cares, because we saw him with Jeff Jarrett.
He was locked in last night.
Yeah. when MJF cares, he is the best heel in the game. Mm-hmm. And there's no one else can touch
him playing up the America gimmick. It's like understandable. It's like
yeah. But this was definitely more of an exhibition type of card.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there was only a little bit of advancement toward the paper. It was more about we're gonna have a kind of a crossover show with CMLL and we'll just have some fun, like where Worlds Collide. It's just not as as banger of a show as World Collide, but still a fun show.
Yeah. Since we're talking about
that 14-man tag was just too many people.
Too many dudes. Too many dudes. It's not a battle royal.
10-man tag is stretching enough as it is, but then you go to 7-on-7. It's like, come on, man.
Right.
How's anybody going to get a chance to shine when you got that many people involved in the match?
Yeah. This is missing, Mr. Iguana. He's got an iguana.
Mm-hmm.
Did I see where Berto and they won the tag
Angel and
titles?
Berto, they won the AAA tag team titles.
Yeah. So much for them breaking it. Triple H loves to. Oh, are they going to break up? That's like his favorite go-to.
Yeah, and it's but with the Grayson and Waller, they've been arguing for weeks, and so it's like, when are you going to fucking pull the trigger? For God's sake?
Yeah. So,
at least with Legado, there was problems, but it looks like they've worked things out for now. But if things start to go bad for them, then they can always revisit it and have them break up.
That's the best.
That booking works. Whereas it feels like Austin and Theory, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory's breakup, they've been teasing that for a whole fucking year and they haven't pulled the trigger.
Just make Austin Theory face. He's shown enough. But he can,
I'm hearing people are saying that he's been getting face support pops. For dark matches and main event stuff. So
yeah. But yeah, no, like I said, it was a fine show. It was an okay show. Nothing too.
Oh, I forgot to mention. Nick Aldis was only partially true when he told Zelina Julie was there. She was not on SmackDown. She wrestled on main event and beat BFAT. I've seen the footage on some people on Twitter, fans who were there, posted the video online. I watched some of the video. She was getting some good heel reaction from the fans when she was wrestling BFAP. So, which made me happy.
All right. Well, let's move on to NXT.
Yes, we got stuff going on here.
Jada Parker defeated Thea Hale in an NXT Women's Championship #1 contenders eliminator match. Thea had Jada in the Kimura lock and she tapped out, but the ref didn't see it. And Thea lets go, thinking she had won. While Thea argued with the ref, Jada hit her with Hypnotic from behind to pin her and advance to the Fatal 4-way next week. Backstage, Josh Briggs, Inamura, and Elijah talk about the 6-man tag tonight. Hank and Tank come up and let Briggs and Inamura know they have a future shot at the tag titles coming up. Obafemi walks up and Hank and Tank compliment him on beating Jasper Troy last week. He turns and runs into TNA champ Trick Williams. Oba tells Trick his money is on Briggs and Inamura tonight, and Trick tells him he's going to be a broke ruler.
some good lines going on.
Yep. Lash Legend defeated Kalani Jordan in a NXT Women's Championship #1 contenders eliminate ladder match with a Lash extension. Man, Lash is just getting so much better in the ring. This was a fun match. After video recap the D'Angelo family drama, we have Tony out in the ring saying he wants from Luca Crucifino is trust and loyalty, and he's not getting it. Luca comes out and says he's not lying about the desert story. Tony tells him to look him in the eye and tell him if he's with Stacks. As he's about to answer, Stacks comes out with some goons. Stacks says there's a reason he saved Luca from the desert and tells him he knows what to do. They attack, and Luca helps Tony fight them off. But when he goes to hit Stacks, he ducks and hits Tony by mistake, causing more issues between them. Trick is with first class in the back. Navarro is not clear to wrestle tonight, but they found a replacement, and in walks Wesley in high rise. Wes says he will team with Trick and AJ Francis tonight. Trick thanks him and apologizes for past beef between them. We get a Chase U segment as Andre Chase is holding class. Dixon repeatedly interrupts Chase as he's trying to teach, so Chase tells him to get tough because Chase U doesn't bend to him. Dixon and Connors leave in a huff, and Connor says it's a shame leaving Chase upset and confused. North American champ Ethan Page is backstage with the Vanity Project from Evolve, Swipe Right, and men's Evolve champ Jackson Drake. They all agree that beating Ricky and injuring him was Page's best work. Ricky Saints walks in to whisper to Page that he will be cleared next week, and he's coming for him. Drake says if Ricky wants to get to Page, he has to go through the Vanity Project. Ashanti, the Adonis, has been listening in, and as Page and them leave, he tells Saints that he used to think they had a lot in common. Adonis tells him it's a numbers game, and the odds are not in his favor. But Ricky says he'll see him too. And then Blake Monroe somehow safely leaves the NXT parking lot and walks into the PC for her contract signing tonight. Yeah. Javon Evans is hanging out with Tavion Heights and Ren Sinclair of the No Quarter Catch crew still. Tavion asks Ren if she talked to Charles about him leaving the No Quarter Catch crew, and she says talking to him requires nuance. Javon sees Jasper Troy walk by and goes to give him props for the fight he gave Oba last week, even if he lost. Jasper doesn't appreciate it and leaves. Dempsey finally arrives and tells Tavion he can leave the No Quarter Catch crew if he can beat Javon in a match next week. They like that, and Javon tells Dempsey he needs a hug, which Ren applies awkwardly as Dempsey isn't with it.
I love Ren Sinclair.
Ren Sinclair is awesome. And then Elijah, Josh Briggs, and Inamura defeat Trick, AJ Francis, and Wes Lee in a 6-man tag match when after Wes hits Trick by accident, Inamura comes off the top rope with a frog splash and pins Trick to win the match to announcer's shock. That's right. Trick took a pin, which he does all the time. Ava is talking with Robert Stone and Stevie Turner in her office when she hears shouting outside the door and finds Tony and Luca still arguing over what happened earlier. Tony tells Ava he wants Stacks next week, but Ava says Stacks has a match next week against Noam Dar for the Heritage Cup. Why is that a thing? Tony is pissed, but Ava says he pinned Tony, a former champ, to earn the shot, and Stacks Consigliere, which they said way too many times in this damn show, signed off on it. Tony assumes it's Luca and leaves even more pissed off. Izzy Dame defeated Zarya in NXT Women's Champion #1 Contenders Elimination match. Tatum Paxley comes out and hugs Soul from behind, which causes her to scream in surprise. This distracts Zarya enough for Izzy to hit her with a sky-high sit-out powerbomb to pin her in advance. In the back, Briggs tells Inamura he's earned a title shot next week against Trick by pinning him tonight. Inamura says he wants Briggs to have the TNA title shot because Inamura wants to think bigger. Briggs and as TNA champion and himself as NXT champion. Briggs thanks him for giving him the shot. Jordan Grace defeats Lola Vice in an NXT Women's #1 Contenders Eliminator match by hitting Lola with Beast Mode. It's Juggernaut Driver. For the win and earns the final spot in the #1 Fatal 4-Way next week. That match was awesome. Backstage, Zarya is pissed at Paxley for costing her the match against Izzy while Sol Rocco tries to calm her down. Izzy walks in and tells Tatum they are not friends to her because they don't even include her in their TikTok videos. She leaves, and so does Tatum. The main event segment, Ava was in the ring with table and chairs as no ladders. As Blake Monroe came out to sign her NXT contract, she's excited to be part of the best women's division. It's well known being in WWE has been her dream, and she can't wait to go right to the top and signs the contract. As she does, Fatal Influence comes out. NXT Women's Champ Jacy Jane asks Ava why she is kissing this newbie's ass. Nix tells Monroe that if she thinks she can take what Fatal Influence has built. She's delusional. Blake calls all three of them insecure bitches. JC says Blake is just a flavor of the month, and Blake slaps her, which starts a fight. The numbers game is too much for Blake, and Fatal Influence powerbombs her through the table. The Heroes Trio stands tall over Monroe to close out the show. Okay, talk about weird finishes. Number one, the Thea Hell thing. That was weird. And then number two, the Tatum Paxi thing. That was weird too. It's just weird booking to me.
That
weird booking.
The Tatum Paxi one I thought was a little bit more silly because it's like, sorry, I shouldn't have gotten distracted by that easily. To finish the Jada Thea makes more sense is that it's protecting Thea and furthering the feud. Because now Thea's like, I had the match won, the ref didn't see her tapping out. I should have won the match. I should have been advanced. So she feels like she's going to get robbed, and that's going to fuel more anger toward Jada for basically like stealing a win over her from her.
Yeah, man. You don't stop playing until you hit bell ring.
Right. So I think it was to protect Thea and to further the feud because they're obviously high on Thea, and so I was like, okay, you know what? I see what they were doing with that finish. It's like, Thea got a little too excited because she saw the tap and thought the ref saw it too, and then when she finds out the ref didn't, she gets into argument and she got distracted for too long enough for Jada to take advantage, and then she lost it. So, and
it was the right move, but Jada, because Jada needed to advance, but you also need to protect Thea.
Exactly. It made sense for Jada to go forward into the number one contender Fatal 4-Way, but they're obviously high in Thea, so this way, even Thea lost, it was a screwy finish where the fans can feel like, oh, she got fucking robbed. That's not fair.
But here's the problem with this show is you totally took away from giving intrigue to the title match at the NXT show because you already had Blake Monroe and Fatal Influence getting into it. So it takes away. It's like, oh, well, then why are we doing this? Because we know where it's going.
But what they can do is she can work her way through Fatal Influence, eventually getting to JC to stall her getting the title shot.
But you're taking away from the fact that JC's Jane is going to be whoever wins this eliminator. That's the issue. Because she's trying to get to JC because she has the title.
Right.
So while we're having this eliminator stuff, you're taking intrigue away from it because you're already basically setting up the mountaintop of JC Jane and trying to make her like, she has her goons in her way, which I don't think Fallon Henley's a goon, but you get what I'm saying. Like, right. I think you're taking away from what you're trying to build as whoever wins between Jada Parker and Lash Legend, they're going to lose.
I think they're assuming that they're thinking that whoever is going to win the number one contender match next week, the fans are going to be like, oh yeah, well, kiss the title goodbye, JC. But it's like they're going to be like, nah, not so fast.
Well, the thing is you're basically telling the audience.
You're right. It's, but it makes sense that they're setting this up because JC's insecure. She's coming in and she's stealing the spotlight from her as the NXT champion, and she don't like that shit. So that it's like, so it makes sense that Fatal Influence came after her because she's literally stealing the spotlight. Everyone's talking about Blake Monroe and not JC Jane as NXT champion.
But why is she worried about Blake Monroe when she should be worried about the person that's actually going to be challenging her next?
Well, she's not worried about that because she's got her girls on her side. It's like she's got Fallon Henley, Jasmine Nix.
It's just the way you booked it. It takes away from whoever wins. It doesn't matter. They're going to lose.
No, it's like it presents a problem. The storyline makes sense, but yeah, it's like you have a valid point in that it kind of telegraphs things a little bit too easily about where they're probably going to go with the title picture.
I'm all for it because I'm glad that Jada Parker and Lash Legend and stuff because they've definitely. I'm all for it, and Jordan Grace.
They're giving Izzy Dame a chance to shine here too.
Yeah,
so it's
obviously Jordan might win the NXT championship eventually, but I think she's going to be on the main roster before the end of the year.
Yeah, there's only two people I think are going to win unless they pull a shocker. Jada's already had like more than one title shot within the last like several months. I don't see her getting another one just to lose to JC. Don't see Izzy getting pushed like that yet. And plus, also she's a heel. So Jada's acts like a heel, but the fans really want to cheer her. So it's like there's a disconnect there. The fans really like Jada. So I think eventually they're going to have to turn her babyface.
Also,
just give her a little bit more tweener kind of attitude, at least. It's like, but the two baby faces in the match are Lash Legend and Jordan. So it's either Lash or Jordan is winning this to get the title shot. I don't see them giving it to Jordan and then having her lose another title match because she just lost she already lost to Stephanie at Battleground. It would be I think it would piss off some people a little bit more if she goes and jobs to Jason Jane at Evolution. So it's like if she's gonna win, you would think she's gonna win the title. But if they don't want to give Jordan the title because they're thinking she might get called up anytime soon, then I see them giving Lash the win and having it it's like, okay, Lash, let's see what you can do in a title match at Evolution. It's like in a big spot. So
yeah, I mean, Lash is. You talk about someone that was green as hell and has been.
She's worked her ass off.
Did you see online where people were basically like, "Oh, so they gave Blake Monroe the Timeless Tony Storm character"?
No, yeah,
I was like, no, that's more Sabrina Carpenter.
No, it's not. It's like her character is not even close to what Timeless.
No, it's more Sabrina Carpenter, really.
It's more of a, very high on herself. It's a very heel-esque character, but they're presenting her as a babyface because Fatal Influence is already trying to take her out. So she's a de facto babyface, even though her character feels like it's a heel with her. Like, I'm so glamorous. I'm the amazing. It's like very egotistical, but. They can work. It works kind of like maybe like a tweener.
Yeah, but I maybe just because so many people were used to the Mariah and Tony.
Yeah, I think
because that feud. So now they're like, oh, they're just gonna do her. I was like, no, I don't get that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's like
maybe because the vignettes are very Bewitched-esque. That's what I'm getting.
Oh yeah,
very
Bewitched. That whole graphic is like a complete homage to Bewitched. It's like
so for you kids out there, go watch Bewitched. And come back to this channel because me and Justin are a little older, so we remember watching Nick at Night.
Yep.
I
was like that whole animated graphic of Blake Monroe. I was like, that's very Bewitched-like.
That's very Bewitched. That's what I got. And some people were like, "Oh, it's Thomas Storm." I was like, "No, go watch Bewitched. It's more of an homage to Bewitched." And then it's very Sabrina Carpenter-esque, who is also kind of it's a very Bewitched based character.
Mm-hmm.
On that. All right. I'm over this. Can they just pull the trigger and figure out what they want to do with Tony D'Angelo and Luca and Stacks? Because I'm over it.
It feels like it's dragging its feet a bit now. It's like I was digging it at first, but now it feels like the storyline started to drag a bit. I'm like
after the street fight with the crowbars and all that stuff, I was like, I thought we were kind of meeting ahead there.
Can we get the part where Rizzo comes back and either is sides with Tony or betrays Tony? It's like
right. Can we just get there?
Because I think Luca is definitely not betraying him. They want to make it Tony in every way think that he's going to do it, but I think the real betrayal will be like Adriana instead.
Yeah.
And then Tony's going to be really like, oh man, I really fucked all this whole shit up. It's like, yeah, you did, Tony. I like the build with Ricky and Ethan. Is like that, I'll dig on that. Very interesting, this alliance between Ethan Page and the Vanity Project from Evolve.
That makes so much sense though.
For their heel characters mesh well together, so I see why they wanted to pair them, and they're definitely high on the Vanity Project as a whole. I mean, it's like they gave Jackson Drake the Evolve Men's title, so
just
like,
very better than you preppy douchey white dudes.
Yeah, they're a lot. They're a lot. Them and Ethan Page have a lot in common with their heel characters. So
just strap the rocket to Ricky and Ethan and get out of the way. They're so. Come back to this show. We sometimes get wrong. We sometimes get right. this show right now, strap the rocket to Ethan and Ricky.
I also love the focus on the women's division with this episode between the matches and then the Blake Monroe versus Fatal Influence. That's always good. Lola and Jordan Vice went out and were like hitting each other hard, which I really love to see. I didn't mention it in the recap, but we have to talk about this. The music change.
I know why. Did you see why?
Yes. Now,
the music was terrible.
Yes. Number one, it's fucking awful. And I love how immediately, like, Jason Solomon tweeted out, "Congratulations, Jordan Grace, you've just been Death Rebel."
Yeah. I swear to God, it was AI.
So not only is, like, she's coming out to new music, and it doesn't sound that good, but on top of that, the fucking NXT fans, God bless them, chanted "Fire Death Rebel" because
they
hated
did.
the fucking music.
They did.
And you can hear it. They made it very audible. "Fire Death Rebel." I mean, Jordan had to do what she could. I was like, guys, come on, let's get. And then it came out why they changed the music, and it made sense for two reasons. Number one, yes, it is very similar to Braun Breakers because of the siren, because that's a Steiner homage.
Right.
And George talked about it, and she asked Scott Steiner for permission to have the sirens in her music because she wanted to do the homage to Scott Steiner.
She is Miss Pump. So
yeah. And number two, Jordan owns the rights to that music. So with very few exceptions, they preferred to have people use music that they own. Like CM Punk with Cult of Personality is one of the rare exceptions that they will allow.
Yeah.
Same with Cole.
More and more, you're seeing artists come out. Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Who was the wrestler they wanted to do? Braun. They want to do a Braun Breaker. And then Paramore wanted to do one for Bailey.
Yeah. And it's like, so the fact that the fans were chanting "Fire Death Rebel," it's like, Triple H, Double E, you really got to make a change with who's making the music, man. Because the music is really important. It's like music, thanks to what happened in the 80s, when you hear a certain music is played that's really attached to who that wrestler is, that gets the fans to either cheer or boo because they're like, oh, they're coming. X or Y is coming out. If you give them like just generic bullshit, crappy music, people hear that and gonna be like, wait, who's that? It's like you're not gonna get a reaction.
What was it? The Royal Rumble?
Remember when we were watching the Rumble? How some of the people who have crappier music didn't get really good reactions at the Rumble because they don't know who that is.
No, it was like 3 years ago, and was like the next four people all had it sounded like the same.
Alexa has very distinct music, so as soon as that music played, everyone went nuts. Stephanie Vaquer, thankfully, has very distinct and cool music. So when her music plays, that's Stephanie Vaquer, and she gets the pop. Same with Rhea. This is my brutality.
That's the one thing. I don't really care for the Prodigy's music. I think it's very generic.
But yet but the fans actually recognize that.
They do. They do. I'm not a fan of it, but I understand.
No,
but
it could be better, but at least it's distinct enough that the fans react when they hear Roxanne's music play because they know that's Roxanne.
If you don't think, look at Stephanie Vaquer's music. Like that music hits, dude.
It does. It's like it's yeah, let's go. That's why I like her music. It stands out.
And then Julia's got that little
and Julia's music stands out a lot. So it's like
Oscar. Io Sky's music.
Julia.
Io Sky's music works.
I've always loved Io's music. Thankfully, that has not changed. It's like when she got that music in NXT, I was like, that music is awesome. And it fits her personality of
and her stumbling to the ring like she's drunk.
Yeah, it matches her chaotic in-ring personality.
But yeah,
Charlotte's has got a little bit of her father's touch to it,
right.
So that's Charlotte Flair. Yeah. Becky's music. It's when you do it right, it's like it stands out and the fans know whose music that is. And I tell you, the one who's got the crappiest music, who I love, it's like Bailey's music is horrible.
Yeah.
No matter Oh my god, that needs to go away. It's
So
like
bad. That's what I'm saying. If Paramore can do it right, because Paramore wants to do is, and she's been wanting to do. She wants Paramore to do it. Paramore wants to do it. If they can get it figured out, I'm down for that if they can pull it off.
I mean, it wasn't horrible, but I was like, ah, fuck, they changed her music.
Right. No, but yeah. But I was like, why do they change it? Like, oh, they got Def Rebel again, and I was like, what? There was no reason for her to change. It's not like they're paying an arm and a leg for certain things. Oh, Braun Breaker. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Lash is okay, but it could be better. It's like it definitely needs to kind of help stand out. It's like I was just like when I heard that, and I was laughing so hard when I heard those Fire Def Rebel chants. I was like, yes, you tell them. this is not good.
You're a gajillion-dollar company and you can't afford licensing for certain things, but whatever.
So, but despite that whole controversy with the music, the Lola Vice Jordan match, I think, was of the four was probably the best. I thought Thea and Jada had a really nice opening match, and that was my favorite of the women's matches until Lola.
Jordan and Lola was my favorite.
Joe and Lola was the best because they went out and were hitting each other hard.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, that Thea obviously that Thea Jada. I was like, cool. I didn't like the finish. It was weird, but that's because Thea lost. But I was like, okay, at least like you were saying, like
I was not. That was the one I was least looking forward to because I love Jada and I love Thea, and I was like, one of them's gonna have to lose, and it sucked.
Right. And then I was surprised how
appreciate the finish that it helps protect Thea even though she lost.
And then Kalani and Lash went out there and killed it. And then Lola and because I was like, okay, and then Lola and Jordan went out there and even stepped their game up more. So that stretch muffler suplex she did before she hit her finisher was pretty dope. I thought. Yeah. So
it's like Jordan Grace is awesome.
So the wrestling on this show was solid. Some of the story stuff
was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, it was.
Props to fucking AJ Francis. He was working, man.
Mm-hmm.
He was really impressed me in that tag match.
Trick loves taking pins when he doesn't have a title on the line.
Right. I was shocked. I was like, wait, what? But then it's like, oh, okay. It's like they're giving Briggs the push, man. They
are giving Briggs the push. Yeah, and Inamura,
they're giving him this title shot, and they're teasing him maybe getting a shot against Oba in the future too. So,
I mean, I'm fine with Briggs. I'm not like bought in, but I can see it.
No, he's got the in-ring talent. I think he just needs to work a little bit on his personality as a character.
Because he does. Like Inamura, pairing him with Inamura was the best thing they could ever do.
Exactly. Him and Inamura play off each other really well. So I'm glad that pairing is still in play because Inamura is trying to get him to see like you can be a single star. You can be the champion. It's like you got to believe. Because apparently he believes him. He just needs to get Briggs to believe for it to believe it as well. You know, it's like so he's trying to encourage his friend to think bigger. Like he says, think bigger. You know, it's like you can be more than just a tag guy.
Right. And also speaking about believing, did you see Joe Henry come out to a Mexican version of his Spanish version of his song?
No, I heard.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Anyway, that's just Joe Hendry's so great. Yeah, no, I mean the wrestling on this stuff was good. I just thought some of the story stuff was lacking. Like
some of it was lacking. Like you said, like the D'Angelo family stuff starting to drag. The Chase U stuff, I think I know where it's going. We'll see if they stick the landing. I think this is about trying to evolve Chase as a character where maybe he's got to change his techniques in order to try to teach these guys how to be better. Kind of like meet in the middle.
Yeah. Because
you got Booker T just trashing him on commentary saying,
right.
So I told you, he's awful, man. It's like
overall this week of hey, Liv Morgan fan, welcome. Like, subscribe down there. We talked about at the beginning of the show of how it sucks that Liv got hurt. Now we can see where this could lead into Roxanne and what they're doing, and they're scrambling around and all that stuff. So yeah, if you want to go back, but hit the like, subscribe, ring the doorbell. We are live every Thursday, unless certain scheduling conflicts happen with holidays and stuff.
Wrap things up here, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're about to wrap things up, but hit the like, subscribe, and ring the doorbell on that. But yeah, this week of wrestling was fine. Yeah. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great, but I was entertained.
We had some good stuff, and unlike some of the stuff that they're building towards the big shows coming up, and so it's like we should just see what's gonna, because I see where there's some other potential evolution stuff teasing, because I think Julia and Selena, they're going to keep building that toward evolution, which would be the right move. Don't rush that to Night of Champions.
They're going to have the triple. Like right now, I'm thinking Julia, Zelina, the triple threat with Becky, Bailey,
and Lyra.
That's obviously JC Jane and whoever.
JC Jane versus whoever's going to win the number one contender match next week.
And I don't know who's going to win that, honestly.
Yeah, like I said, it could be Jordan or it could be Lash.
Could be Lash. Could even be Jada, but I think it's more Lash Jordan. Is what I'm leaning. And then
Io and Tiffany still need to have matches on the show.
And then they're going to do something with the Bellas.
Yeah, Nikki Bella is going to at least be on the show. Is definitely going to have a match on the show. What it's going to be now that Liv's hurt, we'll find out.
Maybe Charlotte Alexa. Maybe
Charlotte Alexa would make sense, just as a non-title match on the show with what we're building. So we'll see that. So
yeah, we'll see. But that's we're at the 2-hour mark, guys. Yep. Justin, again, always a pleasure doing this every week.
Yes,
we do. And also not only do we wrap up wrestling for the week on this channel, we also wrap up the sports world every week with Rev Sports Wrap It Up every Wednesday at 9:00 Central, 10:00 Eastern. Obviously, this show goes live at 8:00 Central, 9:00 Eastern. We also have our Discord down below, which is free to join. If you want to get into the YouTube spaces, we would love to help you out. Join our patreon.com/RuckusEV, where we do that. We help you out, getting all that stuff, good stuff there. Right now, hold on, score check. Looks like the Pacers are going. We're going to Game 7, guys. They're up 108-87. So we're going to a Game 7 in the NBA playoffs. So it's probably going to go back to OKC for that one. So probably OKC might pull it off if they're at home, but who knows? But yeah, that's living up to the billing. So the Pacers were not going down without a fight on that. Justin, 2 seconds. I always like to give you 2 seconds on your Yankees. Go.
Aaron Judge is still fucking awesome. Despite the Yankees' recent losing streak, which they finally snapped today by beating the Angels. Thank God. Hopefully they're going to get out of the slump. That stuff happens, but thank God we have Aaron Judge.
Dude, he's not going to be able
also,
to
congrats to the Florida Panthers. Back-to-back Stanley Cup wins is very impressive. That doesn't happen very often. So that's a very impressive that they won back-to-back. And congrats to our friend and who's a fan of them, Soul, part of this channel here. She's a very, very happy lady.
Yeah.
Very dope.
Yeah.
And also shout out to our friends over at the Finstock Network, Bobby and them. Bobby's a big Panthers fan too, and he was very elated that they won for a second year in a row. So
yeah,
shout out to all our Florida Panther friends out there for enjoy the victory.
Exactly. We're not going to talk about the Reds. We're not going to do it. But all right, guys. Well, Justin's always a pleasure. And guys, like we said, same time, different week, but same day. As far as Thursday is concerned, we will see you all next time. I am going to hit that music because I always forget. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Mm-hmm.